All right, man. Thanks for getting here with me this evening, YouTube. All right. Tonight, I wanted to discuss some of the evidence that's in the Delphi murders and see if anybody could come up with anything that I do not already have listed. So, damn it. If anybody has evidence that they believe that I do not have, please drop it in the comments over here. Please drop it down there in the chat. And aside of that, how's everybody doing this evening? All right, man. Hey, you know what? Everything's looking really good here. Really digging it. Now, what I want to do is I want to make a video talking strictly about the evidence that we know of. And we already know that they have more than that. Hey, Sarah, Valerie, Tammy, Trench, Lisa, Rises, Brittany, Carol. All right, man. Hey, Stu. Man, you know what? Holy crap. Do I got people coming in? I hope I'm worthy. Anyway, tonight I wanted some evidence. All the evidence that we know of in the Delphi murders. Because the reason is I want to make a video about the evidence. Solely about the evidence. Because we know that law enforcement already has more than what we're looking at. So let's kind of go over the evidence. One, I'm going to say they have video. They have video of the man. Now, that's exactly where the 3 images that we see come from. It's off that video that Libby got on her phone. She also picked up his audio, at least for a time. So we know that they have that. Now, also, we would suspect that they got foot tracks. They got DNA for whatever reason. Maybe it was touch. Maybe it was more than that. But they say they have DNA. Now, I don't believe that they have anything that works as far as a vehicle. I've never seen any likelihood of him having a vehicle. I think that he had walked. Is there, if anybody could give me anything further upon what they believe that they have. Now, the shoe tracks, remember right off the bat, I think that they searched somebody's locker there at Indiana Packers. And I believe that the boots may have looked or had a tread mark that was pretty close. The guy may have missed that day for whatever reason, may have been about the same build. I'm not exactly sure because none of that really came out, right off the bat. See, now somebody said the body's being posed weird. We can always speculate on that. You know what I mean? I have never seen pictures. I've never seen anybody step forward and say that. I think that as far as the bodies being posed, man, it kind of just relates back to Facebook. I tend to stay away from that as much as possible. Well, you see, I mean, and I've heard both. I mean, I have heard both. I heard Abby, and I also heard that things were done to Libby as well. Anyway, I'm talking about the evidence. Because I would like to go over the evidence, but I would like to believe that there's more than what I'm just looking at. I don't, hang on, man, I'm trying to read these, the chat as well. Okay, Michael, do you know if CC? I don't know if CC Moore is on the case. I really don't. Now, I had contacted Lesenby by email 3 different times. But this is after he had asked me for contact information on her. Now, I got a message there, Dave, from Greeno, and apparently he had talked to Lesenby, and Lesenby said that he never contacted her, but law enforcement did. Somebody had. Now, does that mean that she's working on this case? And I hope that that's true. I really do. I think that that could break it down quicker than about anybody else. But I don't know that to be exactly true. Maybe, but you know what? You got to remember that this is just the public evidence that they're talking about. They have video, but they're only showing us 3 images from it. They have a lot of audio, but they just gave us that one little clip. So I'm not thinking that this is all the evidence that they have. I think that it goes beyond that. But to go into that evidence, I mean, we would really have to speculate on what it is. It's like a murder weapon. Well, I can't say exactly what that weapon is, but if I was to speculate, I don't think that he would have shot him. Okay. I think that strangulation, a knife, or being hit by a blunt object, those could tie in. It could be something bigger than that. It could be an axe or a hatchet. It could be something along that line. But we don't really know, and we definitely have to speculate to actually, try to come up with something there. Yeah, and the 2-year anniversary is forthcoming on February the 13th, and that is a bad day around here anymore. I do not know if Erskine's comments are true. Now, I'm going to say, given the nature of his job, if he had wrote something on there, it probably is true, because I don't think that he would publicly or outwardly lie in such a way given that job. But I can't really, touch upon any of that further. I tried to avoid anything that he had said as just being possibly speculative or made up, but I do not know that. So bear with me on that, because honestly, as far as Dave Erskine goes, I know the exact things that you know. Okay, I know what they are. Are they true? Maybe. Was he just making something up? I don't know. Because, maybe he did find it. Maybe he wanted to get like 15 minutes of fame. Maybe he wanted to throw stuff in there. Maybe he was expounding upon what he saw, what he thought he saw, and so forth. I don't really know. But you see, a gun, there was people there not long before, after they was abducted. Cheyenne. In fact, when she was coming right back, it's about the time that he was hitting the trail. So I don't think that he fired a gun. If he fired a gun, other people would have heard it. Yeah, I'm kind of on that side that the police are kind of lollygagging on this. I think that with any good investigation, if you have to investigate that deep, given the amount of evidence that we know that they have, something's wrong. Something. A silencer. He isn't a high-tech killer, man. Look, you don't find people that commit this murder that are all high-tech, computer savvy, silencer. Nobody out there doing that. You know what? I mean, I couldn't. Well, right. No, and I give you that. He abducted them with a gun, but I don't think that he killed them with a gun. But again, Rises, we don't know that. We don't exactly know how the bodies were when they were found. Yeah, well, you see, in 63, that's not exactly true. Look, man, I lived up the road from there at approximately 2 miles to the east of that on County Road 200, maybe 3 miles east of where that is. I didn't know it was there. I never knew that trail was there. Somebody could have talked about that trail, and I'd be like, what, up in Monon? What Monon Trail? Well, where? What are you talking about? Because I had no clue of it. Neither did Greeno. When we went to Delphi and talked to people, a lot of people had no clue about that until after the murders. It was a very small hiking trail, and not that many people knew of it, honestly. We went out there in the summertime. It was pretty warm temperature. I'm going to say somewhere between 85 and 90, like right in there. But we was out there for every bit of over 2 hours, and we did not see one person out there, not one person hiking. Now, this is on February the 13th, a rather warm day for February, but there wasn't a lot of people out there hiking that day when this occurred. I don't think that they're connected. I really don't. I don't think that the murders and the fire are connected in any way. It's just it's kind of drawing a conclusion that don't need to be drawn. Yes. Well, look, let me bring John D. Miller up when CC got him. Okay. She started to work on that in May. Now, we don't know exactly at what date in May, but we know it was within the month of May. Now, you get to July the 8th. Now, at this time, at July 8th, she had already narrowed that down and manually connected it down to John D. Miller and his brother. And she said it's one of these two guys right here. So then the cops had to go to these guys' trash, dig out something with DNA on it, and then compare that DNA back to the guy's DNA that they knew had committed this crime and said, it's John D. Miller living right here. Now, he was arrested on July the 8th. So everything that she had to do was basically done within a month and a half. Figure that out, because then you got to send that DNA in to then be matched to say yes or no. So she did that within a month and a half. Now here, if she started back in July, August, September, October, November, that's 4 months. You see, what would be the holdup? What would be the holdup? There was, Jason, there was 2 witnesses that seen the suspect. There was nobody that seen the murder. Yeah, and again, you know what? I was kind of chatting earlier with somebody on that said, how was that, man? Maybe it was a commenter. But they had said, well, given the time that they were abducted to the time that he was seen leaving, that's 40 minutes. And given the walk time, that would only give about 20 to 20 some minutes crime time, for the act to be committed. Now, that's exactly what I broke that down to in the timestamp video, because from the time that picture of Abby was taken at 2:07 to the time that flannel shirt guy seen him leaving toward Freedom Bridge was 40 minutes. Now, in 40 minutes, he had to walk out there, cross the bridge, abduct him, walk him down there, walk him back across over there, commit the crime, and then walk all the way back up and then all the way back to the 501 and heading back toward Freedom Bridge at 2:47. So that gives a very small window of the time that the crime was committed. Now, I would hate to think that a man would go out there for the sole purpose of just abducting a little girl just to kill her. Well, anything else for that matter, where it would involve her death. But at the same time, 20 some minutes is a very small window. It's just not long, especially given the fact that he probably tried to cover him and so forth. Everything was kind of set up mentally. But whatever it was that he went over there to do, he accomplished it rather quick. Well, right. Addiction and recovery, Ryan. 20 minutes is not very much time to commit such a crazy murder. Come on, people. But it's true. This is the point I'm driving home. That is the amount of time that it took. It's not come on, people. It's the fact. Well, the killing aspect of it, no. But there was a crime. There was a motive. You see where I'm at? There was a motive. There was a reason why he had abducted them and took them over there. Now, I would hate to think that was just, hey, I want to go kill a little girl, or something like that. Well, it kind of does. But at the same time, again, Ryan, this was a crime of opportunity. Nobody knew they were going to be there. Nobody. Libby came up with the idea, asked her sister, and they were gone. He was there way before that. He was seen there way before that. That's not a hit. That's not a hit unless, somebody can tell me that, they magically made her want to go there that day for the hit. It isn't. Free, how you doing? We don't know. I mean, you know what? Crime of passion. We don't know. When I first seen the picture of the suspect, and given the fact that it was a 13 and 14-year-old girl that he had abducted and murdered, my first thought was sexual. I mean, that's just kind of the direction you go with that. But it's more statistical that it would be that, because It's not a hit. And if it isn't sexual, again, what man would actually go out there with the sole intent, I'm just going to go kill a little girl. I'm just going to go abduct and kill her for no reason. I just want to go do that. That never crosses into a person's mind. They had a motive. They had a reason why they was doing this. And I believe it to be sexual. No, I stick to my own timeline. You send it to someone else, though. No, I don't think he was at the Patty's house that day. Yeah, he is. In fact, he's a monster. And you know what? Last night, I set up kind of late because I was going back and I wanted to get all of the press conferences, all of the interviews with law enforcement talking, every single one of them. To Lesenby, Doug Carter, Kim Riley, I forget the FBI guy's name, what's got Holman, with everybody talking every single time and see what I could pick up on. Now, I did hear something that was kind of interesting, and I was going to say this for the video I was making on the evidence. But last night, a reporter, I forget her name, I'd have to go back and search through those again, but she had said that police said that they have evidence that connects back to the killer. Okay. Now, my first thought was the phone, because, his video image, his audio, and that's what I thought she was talking about. But then she brought that up because it was already in the evidence. So it made me wonder, well, what else did they find that was there at the crime scene that connected back to the suspect? What could it be? Tony, we don't really know that. We don't. All we know is within that group of trees, but there's no photos. There's nothing that shows exactly where they were. Okay. So we can't really do that. Well, Jan, I'll tell you what. The reason that we can determine that they didn't tell anybody up front is for this reason. She came up with the idea. Libby did. She came up with the idea. Hey, I got an idea. Won't we see if my sister will take us out there to the trail? Hey, man, would you take us out to a trail? We want to go hike. Yeah. Okay. Get in the car. Let's go. I'll have Derry come back and pick you up at 3. Boom. Now, if it was a hit, if it was anything like that, anything at all, the guy was already there. He was there long in advance of that. That's how I know 100% that it didn't go offline. You're saying no sexual assault. Can you prove that? Can you prove that to me? Can you send me something at this address, mrcat420@gmail.com? Mail me the evidence that you have there, Rises. It's on Greeno's channel. That's where a lot of my shit went right off the bat. Back over to his channel. Yeah, kids don't exactly tell parents the full story. I understand that. However, the fact is that her sister said exactly how it went down, and she got him there at 1:45. Yes, please do, Tony. Mail that at Mr. Cat, mrkatt420@gmail.com. Mail it out to me. I'd appreciate seeing it. I don't know the exact clothes that Libby had on that day. She may have had on what do you call those? Like the tight kind of sweatpants, like that. But I don't exactly know. I didn't see any pictures of her that day. Yeah. Now, I don't really want to touch upon this, or at least not very much. My sister had went to their viewing. Now, she told me that both of them, both had scarves on because I was asking about how their faces looked. She said that Libby's face seemed very swollen and kind of puffy, and that both of them had a scarf on. And I said, that seems to me more like strangulation, something like that. Now, I kind of stand on that, and it could have been a knife. It could have been. But the thing is, if both of them were kind of cut like that, I doubt that they would have had an open casket viewing. It's just me. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that is approximately that time there, Kelly. Because if they left their house at 1:30, it would be maybe not long after that, but it would be almost exactly 1 hour later when both of them were dead. It's insane. That is nuts, man. That really is. And you know what? But hang on. Alive, Kelly. Yeah, he didn't kill him and then drag him over there. There'd be no reason for that because if he was going that far over there, why would he kill him and then take him across? He had him cross and then committed the act because over there across the creek, see, he's out of eyesight from the trail and the bridge. He can't really be seen except for one part on that private drive. Now, we do know that her son came home shortly after the time that they were abducted. So, I mean, and again, it's just speculation, mind you, but one of the girls may have yelled when that car was kind of driving by that thing because they knew that this guy was nutty. So, with that in mind, man, if one of them had yelled, that may have flipped that guy out. And that may have caused the quick deed, right there. But I don't know that because, we don't know anything about the crime itself as to what was done. Nothing. Anything that we say or speculate on upon that came right off of Facebook, and I call that a shit sandwich every single time. Every time. Never go to Facebook to get anything off this case. People over there are effing retarded, and I don't mean that jokingly. I mean it for real. Well, yeah, but Kelly, you know what? A lot of people are going to highly exaggerate things. Was she? Was her neck cut? Did he see decapitation? You see where I'm at? That's why I don't put a lot of faith in that. It's just like God, and I think it was Dave McCain who had said, or not Dave McCain, Dave Erskine who had said the same thing. That there was a K cutting Libby's belly or chest right here. That somebody did. Now, that sounded kind of logical right after Daniel Nations became a person of interest because his wife's name's Caitlin. The next day was Valentine's Day. He looks identical to the sketch. It was really brought out like that. And I don't think that was by accident. I think that Daniel Nations was a setup to take our mind off of the investigation and looking at someone, thinking that they did it. And then they rounded that out with the year press conference. Yeah, we're not really interested in Daniel Nations at this time. That's the last we're going to talk about him. Anything else? And that's exactly how they hushed that shit up. No, there is not more than one involved. There is one person. One person, Tony. And I can tell you that for this reason. CSI, that means crime scene investigation. Crime scene investigation. Now, when you have the FBI in there with CSI, you know what they're going to tell you? One person committed this act here. One. Now, if there was two people that was there that committed the act, you know what would have came forward? There was two people that had committed this act. Secondly, for anybody following evidence, and it looks kind of unlikely here a little bit, there are two eyewitnesses. They both seen the same exact suspect. Not two people, not another guy running around, nothing like that. There wasn't a big gang out there. There was one guy that was seen by two people. One before he did this, and two when he was leaving after. And that is the same guy that is pictured right there on Libby's phone. One guy, not two. Thank you. Kelly, you're asking me a question that nobody knows. Nobody can know that. Okay? Because they didn't allow anybody in there to look at the crime scene. When those girls were found, they cleared it. They got people in there to investigate it. The FBI, state, everybody else was in there investigating that. Nobody knows what was there. Nobody knows what was found. Nobody knows the foot track marks, nothing like that. I mean, if it's anything over on that side of the creek, we don't know. Nobody does. If anybody says that they know, you're probably hearing it off of Facebook. No. Brittany, actually, from what I understood, her body was still somewhat warm when she was found at about noon the next day. So I think that the reason that, Libby died on the 13th, Abby on the 14th, because they could take a core temperature and take that back and say that she had died at approximately this time in the morning. Now, I had heard, keep that in mind. This means that I don't know shit, okay? I heard that it was from hypothermia. But, and that goes right back to what Sheriff Lesenby had said the night before after he called the search off. He said if they're out there, the biggest concern overnight is the weather because it was going to get cold. And it did. And they weren't dressed for that. And we don't even know as to what they had on at that time or if they was tied up because we don't know anything. We don't know anything from that side over there. MP, okay. No problem. No problem, MP. I'm glad I could help, bro. Well, it's I don't know that I'm just keeping it public, but what I'm trying to do is just keep people's attention on it on a right way, in a right way. I hate theories. I hate useless theories. I hate it when people make something up because it sounds good and it might be true. Yeah, that's bullshit. If it doesn't fit the evidence, it's hardly worth talking about. But I don't mind keeping it in the public eye. The only thing is that what I'm doing isn't going to solve this case. It will not solve it. If I could go to everybody, in Delphi and say, look, this is what I think, blah, 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 and talk to each one of them and then see, how many people might go, well, I was here that day. I didn't see, or something like that. Maybe. But you know what? You can't do that. Police can. Have they? I don't know. It don't look like they have. What is my theory? What is my theory? You're asking me on my channel? I mean, have you not looked at my channel here? Have you not checked it out, Frank? I have discussed my theory and discussed it. In fact, you know what? I need to make a video called This is My Theory. Also, I'm making a video called These Are My Questions about the Delphi case. Because I have questions. You bet I got questions. My questions may or may not be different than your own. You'll have to watch and find out. No, I don't. I don't. And again, I'm going back over this. This is multiple times on this. Hang on. If a victim was shot or stabbed or hit in the head with a blunt object, any of those, and they laid there because of those injuries and died, that would be the cause of their death. But a question that I have on that is that Abby was alive. If she was alive overnight, why couldn't she holler back to the search party? They were close to her. So that leads me to think that either A, she was unconscious, or B, she was tied up and gagged, one or the other, and then froze to death. I don't know that to be true. I can't really say. But if she was hit in the head, cut, shot, that would be the cause of death. And I don't think that dying the following morning, and it could be, I mean, it definitely could be, but I'm going to say if you stab somebody, they're going to bleed out faster than that, especially if they're going to be unconscious for that long. So I kind of feel that if it was hypothermia, I don't think that, I mean, she was really shot or anything. I do feel that she was definitely hit, maybe strangled, may have been tied up. I'm not really certain as to what took place. Yeah, I talked about that a little bit ago, Tommy. CC Moore may be working on this case. It's possible, but I don't really know for sure. Gray Hughes. You know what? Look, man, this is me on Gray Hughes. Gray Hughes makes great videos, but his investigation is shit. He does not investigate. But I tell you what, man, he makes some good looking videos and that gets him subscribers. And I do. I enjoyed his first few on the Delphi case, totally. You know, because he really had some beautiful video of what he was presenting. And I really liked that. But you know, if he says that there was a witness who seen him leaving the cemetery, I'm going, yeah, you know what? That's totally improbable because I already know via law enforcement that that did not happen. But hey, man, you know what? I'll tell you right now. You know what? If he wants to go push that on people and say that that happened, that's great. If he does it on Facebook, even better. That's where people love to eat their sandwiches. Right on Facebook. What, you two know each other? You know MP? Do you know him? Do you? Well, it would be crazy as hell if you guys knew each other. That just flipped me out, man. Mike's a good guy, MP. He's a really good dude. And somewhere on here was MF. I don't know where MF went off to, but anyway, let's get back on this evidence thing. Is there anything else that we can look at as far as evidence? Anything else that anybody can think of? Because you know what? When I have a question, I turn to YouTube. That's where I go. That's where I get my answers at most of the time. Oh, shit. Damn it. Ah, there we go. All right. So, thank you. No, because nobody was planning to meet them there, Jan. Nobody. Nobody was planning on meeting them out there. It was a subtle thought. Hey, why don't we go out there? It's nice and warm. Okay, I'll drive you out there. Derek will come pick you up at 3. There it was. The guy was already there. The guy was already there before that. Not a hit. Not a hit, people. Anybody that says otherwise, it came off of Facebook. I'll guarantee you, and I will guarantee you too. 100%. That's right. 100% it came off Facebook every damn time. Hate that place. Yeah, you know what? Well, law enforcement, yes. In fact, law enforcement has lied a few times that I've heard. They lied about talking to Daniel Nations in Colorado. That was a straight lie. Called that out at the press conference. I said that's bullshit. I'd already talked to Daniel Nations on the phone. He said when Indiana State Police got there, that his public defender turned him away. He didn't get to see him, talk to him, or anything else. And then he turned around and said, well, we went out to Colorado and we sat down and we talked to Daniel Nations for a little while. And I'm like, that's bullshit. He's straight lying. He's lying to everybody right there. But that's his job, is to lie. So I have heard law enforcement lie. I've heard them say things that were at least somewhat untrue. Now, the family, my disagreement is Anna. Anna went on these talk shows and was talking about the pictures. This is what she called them. Pictures of the suspect could not be enhanced any further. That the FBI told her that they sent them to Pixar, Disney, NASA. Nobody could do anything with them. That's as good as it gets. And that's total bullshit, because they're not pictures. They're video images. It came off of the video, which is way clearer than that pixelated image. And that's what the FBI, the state of Indiana, and local law enforcement are looking at. They're not looking at those fucking retarded pictures that they gave us. Look at this. Oh, well, hell, I don't even need to show you. You know what they look like, the pictures of the suspect. You can't tell anything about the guy from that. Cops know that. Cops totally know that. No, he did not exit the cemetery. I've covered that extensively. He did not leave by the cemetery. I don't even think he walked through the cemetery. He came in at Freedom Bridge and he left at Freedom Bridge. That's the way he came in. That's the way that I believe he left. Right there, walking home. It is because if you go take a video on your phone, all right, now you stop a piece of that, you pause it, and then you take that picture and then you blow it up to where you can see the person that you're looking at. It's going to pixelate. You can't fix those pixelations out. They're there. So you can't take them back. Now, I would believe, in fact, I pretty much know that they could take the video image, okay, like of where he's taking that step. Now, they can take the picture, the video part that came from, with this picture, and then use this right here to materialize into this right here, and maybe make that less pixelated, I would think. You know, I mean, that seems more likely to me, but I'm not really a picture editor. In fact, I'm lucky just to do worth of crap on my video editing. And even at that, I'm very lackadaisical. All right. All right, 72 people and 24 thumbs up. People hate me. People freaking hate me. My popularity is weighing to the bottom. It's over, man. Woof, after this video. It's over, bro. I'm taking it. I'm eating a bullet, y'all. Thank you, Sarah. Hey, I appreciate that. And so does Woof. Well, you know what? On this case, this is the thing. We have evidence, okay? We can look at the evidence that we have, what's been said, what we know they have, what they've discussed. We have to speculate because we got to fit things into an order of the way that it happened, okay? So you got to look at when they was dropped off, where that picture was taken. He couldn't have been far behind him because they just walked to the south side of the bridge. From where that picture that Libby took of Abby was to the south side of the bridge is just about as equal to the air side. It's not right at the middle, but still. So he was right back out of that frame when she took that picture of Abby. Right back behind that. Right back at that bend, I believe, watching to see if they was heading over to the south side. When they started that way, he fell in. Okay? So... Oh, this is deep fried Oreos. Sorry, man. Had to hop off there for a minute. Oh, man. I forget where I was going with that. Give me a quick reminder, Sarah. Holy crap, man. You know what? Tonight I have some chat, people. Thank you very much, Jana. See, Cheyenne. There's no reason to be suspicious of Cheyenne. None. She showed up there at the bridge. She wasn't there. She didn't do it. She isn't a suspect. Holy shit, don't you think the cops talk to her? I do. See, people have asked me that, Polecat, and I don't really know. I'm pretty certain that that was that they found the phone. I mean, they found it because, I mean, well, it had audio and video. Now, they could have got that off of the cloud, maybe. But the thing is that I believe that she had it on her, or it wouldn't have been picking up the audio the whole time. If she was sitting there holding the phone, the guy would have took it. The guy would have took it. She had it on her, which was a great frame of mind to actually put that on record and stick it in a pocket, whatever that she had did. But I think that they had probably found that phone, but tomato, tomato on that. Even if they didn't find the phone and got that off the cloud, the same applies because it's what happened. With what timeline, Tony? I don't care. You know what? My health is in great shape, Amy. I ain't worried about it. It tastes better than smoking. Well, they can't really release more audio. I mean, look, two young girls were killed here. They don't even let the family listen to the full audio. Now, I think that what the parents did, and I'm drawing this back off of memory, they had heard some beginning parts of it, and I forget who had said that it was just basically conversation. And I brought that up in my last video. If a guy's going over there to abduct and to hurt two girls, when he gets over there toward them, he's going to start talking to them. Hey, what's up, man? Well, yeah, beautiful day. Yeah, great day to be out hiking. That sort of thing. Kind of gain their trust while he's right there near him because he's watching the far side to see nobody's coming. Once he assumes that that's clear, then he pulls a weapon or however he did that, and then gets him to go down that way. You know what? I got that. I could redo it. Yes, Amy. You know what? Please stop with the for your health stuff. This isn't the area for it. No, Mark, there's not been similar crimes, and that was another thing that was stated last night by the police because people had asked him if this was possibly a serial killer. He said, "Well, there are no other crimes that are like this one, not anywhere around, so it does not look anything like a serial killer." Now, people have brought up the fact that, like, oh, he may be a serial killer. But the thing is this guy is most likely from Delphi. And if he's from Delphi, he's not out there in the world committing serial murder. I think that this was his first one right here. Now, depending upon his reasons for doing that, he could have been like, hey, you know what? That was good. That was fun. That's what I thought it would be. I want to do it again. And that could relate back into him being a serial killer down the way. But then again, John D. Miller, man, he raped and killed an 8-year-old girl. 8 years old. He was telling the cops and other kids and notes that he was going to do it again. That now you're the one that I'm coming after. He was taunting police. But in 30 years, to my knowledge, never committed another murder. That's crazy. It really is. Because he was who are you talking to? Me? Okay, I don't think you guys are talking to me. All right. Anyway, so man, I get a little bit distracted when I'm reading the comments, and I apologize. Anything else on everybody's mind here tonight? Let's go. I mean, I would like to finish this out in 1 hour. Yeah, you see, John, this is the thing. They're two separate crimes. Two separate crimes. If you walk out there, two white girls, you're at a trail system waiting for someone to show up. You killed two white girls. Now, 3 months before that, you just think, well, he wanted to just go burn a building down that had 4 young girls in it that were black. Not the same guy. Not even close. Two separate crimes. Both killed little girls, I'll give you that. But there is no connection aside of that. None. None. For 650, yes, I would. Okay. All right. You know what, John? They're connected. Yay. Dennis Randall killed all of them. Yeah, he's an untouchable. Dennis Randall did it, everybody. There you go. Now you know who committed the crime. Dennis Randall killed all 6 girls. There it is. That's a slander suit I can't wait to get from his untouchable ass. Can't wait for that shit to arrive. Cops pull up. Yeah, you was talking bad about the untouchable, bro. He's going to make you an offer you can't refuse. Remember when you had to sit in jail with just a honey bun and a shot of tang? You ain't going to be dicked this time around, says Lesenby. You see, I am just sticking here to the facts in the Delphi case. Solely. That's it. Just to the facts. Because if it does not involve them, it's just making shit up. Now, you have to speculate to make the facts fit together. I'll give it that. You have to. Because if you don't, then you're just making shit up. No, you know what, MP? I really don't. She does not want to discuss that at all. She was told by law enforcement not to say crap. She did confront Greeno and say, yeah, I am the lady. But yeah, I can't talk about it. Because, of course, our question at that time was this. Is it Daniel Nations? Yeah, I can't talk about that. Can't talk anything about it. Yes, he did. He talked to me the other day. Me and him talked for about 2.5 hours. You see, the FBI was there on day one, Mark. Day one. They were missing on February the 13th, okay, at that trail system. They searched for him that night. They stopped at 12 midnight. It got cold as hell that night. Then they resumed the next morning, and they was found at about noon the following day on Valentine's Day. Hang on. Now, the FBI was there day one when they were found. The FBI was there. They even had their CSI, forensics, and investigation there. They was set up in Delphi for over a month and a half with a satellite dish back to headquarters. I thought, this guy's effing hit. This guy's hit no uncertain terms. No, it's almost 2 years later. No, we don't know. We got an officer working on it. We don't know. That shit just happens all the time here in Delphi. Nothing to worry about. Hey, man, if you have kids, nothing to worry about. Monsters out there running around. It's cool. He probably won't do it again. God, man, there's some bold-ass statements coming from cops. God. Okay. Let's say that. No, I didn't. Dan, I'm sorry. I'm getting a lot of them over here. If you could put that back in there. Yes, totally, Trench. I believe him to be very local. I think that he actually walked out of Delphi to the trail and then back to Delphi right after he was done. I think he went out there because it was a good day in February. He knew that school was out. Somebody that the age that he was, looking for as a victim might be out there hiking unaccompanied, without anybody. And that is what took place, sadly. Greeno is living in Florida now. He's living right there in Florida. Wait, how can you be suspiciously gone all day? Either you are home or you're not. He wasn't home. He's been cleared. Who's did Dana? If you could repost that question, please. I will try to get to that quickly. 33 thumbs up. Holy shit. 66 people. Wow. Yeah, you know what, Tommy? They can. They could. They absolutely could. And that has been on my mind for a long time. Why don't you release that little bitty clip with that phone moving of him just walking right there? That's where they got the 3 images. Okay. So off of that, if you take the audio out, just where people can see that little clip of him kind of walking, in the style that he walks, that might help people realize who he is. In the pixelation, you can't see anything about him. Nothing. No, I don't, Dana. I don't at all. Because I'll tell you what. No. And now you see again on this video that I was watching last night, the cops were talking about that. And they said, well, right now, and this is only, you can't do that, dude. I got that fucking shit blocked. Because he said that the first thing they're going to do is go over the computers and the phone, see who they had contacted, who had seen their contacts, who knew these contacts, and who could have possibly seen anything that came off their phone. So first thing right off the bat, they was looking at family, friends, the search party, and anybody that could have looked at anything that was discussed online. If there was anything discussed online, anything like, oh, hey, we're going out to Monon Trail, please let everybody know. Then they would be like, okay, somebody could have seen that. But the thing is, it didn't happen like that. They came up with the idea, hey, let's go out to the trail. Okay, hey, would you take us out there? Yeah, let's go. And there it was. He was already there, people. The suspect was already at the trail system. Already. He was already seen there. He was already at the trails. So it was a crime of opportunity solely, not a hit. Nothing to do with Derek. Ronald Logan not involved. Neither was Mike Patty. Neither was the family. Nothing like that. It was a nut job, a freaking monster that lived probably in and around Delphi. I'll just put it like that. That walked down there. He thought it was a good day. The girls are out of school. They could be out walking. They might not have somebody with them. This might be a grand opportunity for me to go commit murder. That was this monster's thoughts right there. He didn't, Trench. He didn't. And I'm going to say evidence proves otherwise. Yeah. There's a lot of logic, and a lot of people will use what they believe to be logic. It's logical. Man, not really given the evidence. You know what? But yeah, wait, what? Google Maps to show what you're talking about? Please send me that as well, if you would, Tony. What does everybody want as far as a video on this? What is it that you want to see a video of? Please throw it in the comments down here in the chat. Yeah, you know what, Dan, I'm exactly on that page. The family's got to be like tore up about this. And then, you know, man, I do. And I get people reaching me, man, talking about like Mike Patty and stuff. And I'm like, why would you reach me about such crap? You know, why would somebody reach me about this? Because, I mean, I'm not just saying about Mike Patty, but just in general, about the family, about it being a hit, about Derek. It's like, why would you reach me about that? There's never a video that goes by when I am telling people that the family didn't do it. The family didn't have anything to do with this at all. Nothing. Because the family didn't know that they was going to the trails that day. No one did. And he was already there before they came up with the whole thing of let's go to the trails. They didn't talk to anybody. They didn't discuss it for days like they was going to go. No, they came up with the idea because it got a little bit warm that day. Hey, man, let's go out to the trails. Okay, boom. And they was gone like that quick. There it is. Well, if he lived there in Delphi, oh, Space Invader, fuck you. You know what? Eat a dick, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. Make shit up out my own fucking hang. Make a video about it, bitch. Make shit up on my own fucking mind. Woof, I'm going to kick me some motherfucker's ass tonight. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. People, for the love of God, it wasn't. It was a crime of opportunity. If you got an outrageous theory, please, for the love of God, go share it on Facebook where people give a fuck. I don't. Thanks, Don. Appreciate it. Oh, hey, Don Sterling's been writing me. She does some good work. I just want to point that out. Don Sterling. You know, okay, yeah, we can okie doke that one. I am open-minded. But you see, there's a difference between being open-minded. Here's the difference between being open-minded and where I'm at. I saw Bigfoot. No, I did. Dude, I know exactly what I saw. It was Bigfoot. Can't be. There's no such thing. Dude, I know what I saw. Yeah, and I know you thought you saw Bigfoot, but you didn't because no such thing exists. Same thing goes with a lot of other things. You can fall in that, but if I'm open-minded enough to go, yeah, Bigfoot's real. Yeah, absolutely. No, you know what, man? I've seen him out here in my woods too. Then I'm an idiot. Then I am wearing tinfoil. If I don't follow by the facts, you know what I'm doing? I'm guessing. I'm guessing. I am guessing and I am speculating. That's what I'm doing. Now, I can speculate as long as it fits within the evidence. Then I can make a case. But you see, by just throwing shit out there and just making stuff up and then just throwing stuff out thin air, saying, yeah, this is the way it did. Yeah, man, maybe Cheyenne did it. Yeah, then maybe her and Ron Logan. Maybe Ron Logan gave Bridge Guy way out there. Maybe it was Ron Logan. Well, apparently you guys don't know dick about law enforcement because those are the first people that are talked to right there. Thanks, Tina. Hey, Tina Fey. You know what? Used to be a big fan of yours. Somebody called me an idiot. Holy shit. Don't call me an idiot. That makes us a little pissy. We don't like that. We don't dig it. We are not in accordance with it. No. All right, man. Am I ending this at 8 o'clock? Yes, I do think he'll get caught. I think that he will. It's a matter of time. I don't know what it's going to come down to. It may come down to CC actually narrowing it down to this guy. Maybe. It might come down to maybe somebody getting kind of clued in on someone, turning them in, the right guy. Look, man, 36,000 tips and there's 3,500 people population in Delphi. Yeah, you know what? Probably everybody and their brother in Delphi got turned in at some point. It's just how it is. I got turned in. Yeah, don't be rude to me, man. Who's being rude to me? I'll boot their ass. I'll give them the damn boot. Is it my cutting name? Yeah, you damn right. I don't take disagreement lightly. I really don't. I'll debate. I will. But if somebody's going to debate me, they better bring evidence to the table. Because if they're just guessing, you know what my words are going to be? Done debating. All you're doing is sitting there and you're guessing. That's what you're doing. You're running guesses by me. Like I know. I don't. No, I don't think you are a space invader. I think you're a fucking troll. I thought I asked you to get out of here. You should. You should just leave. Ain't got time for you, bro. Yeah, I don't care. You know what? Space invaders got a low IQ. Yeah, Greeno didn't have shit to do with it. People are just like effing retarded. Because you know what? I'll tell you right now. Do you know where you got that? Do you want me to tell you? I'll just tell you exactly where you got it. Off of Facebook. Again, that's where people go eat shit sandwiches. So if you read anything on Facebook, keep it there. Because what happens on Facebook don't need to be on my channel, period. I share to Facebook. I try to keep it kindly. Nothing. He's living in Florida. I live over here by Burlington. If he is not out here, we cannot make videos. We are good friends. He lives in Florida and I live in Burlington. Anything else? Anything? Well, I'm probably the wiser. I'm probably the wiser of the two. I have more into law enforcement, but Greeno makes good videos. I mean, his editing is fantastic. He really does. I like his editing. And I think that is what makes us a really good team, is because when we do, we film it, we run over it, we run over everything that we want to say, don't want to say, and we can make and create some really good videos. And I that's why I do like the videos that we put on WKAT. But at the same time, I like to work on my own when it's like my thoughts. But the thing is like for the first year and a half, approximately the first year and a half, Greeno was right here with me through most of it. He had stayed here through a large part of that time. And so we had full-time conversation about it. So, it's kind of one of those things that, what he knows, I know, what I know, he knows. And we still make good videos concerning. And again, you know what? I don't really like doing live videos as well because I'm not prepped to sit here and just go live. You see where I'm at? I mean, people ask me stuff, man, I can answer, but at the same time, it's a little different than just sitting here explaining. I mean, if I'm live, man, I can just sit down, hey, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. This, when you're live, yeah, you just got to like run through here and try to keep up with the chat, which I don't know. It depends. Sometimes there's hardly any chat, man. Tonight, this thing's racing. I don't mind that. It always gives me something new here. See the difference? You see what I'm saying? I got chat happening, man. I can talk all night. I'm going to, hey, thanks for being here. If you're taking off, Don. Yeah. Hey, invaders, leave in peace, dude. 70 peeps. Hey, you know what? Earlier, I think I had 78 or 79. I was like a little amazed. I'm like, shit, popularity's up. What else? What else? Um, that's about all I had. You know, I wanted to talk about the evidence, but I'm going to make a video where I talk solely about the evidence, what the police have said, what they have lied about. And what I want to do is I want to use the press conference clips to actually show what I'm talking about. That way it can't be like, you know, well, he's just making shit up or, oh, they didn't say that. If it comes out of press conference, believe you me, they said it. Well, I don't give a fuck if you agree with me, Invader. I don't care. I don't. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you don't like my videos. Not that that means anything. If somebody shows up and can honestly sit here and say, you know what, actually, by the evidence, this is wrong, I'd love to talk to you. I would love to talk to you. But you know what? No. People come on here with crap and then try to force it down my throat. You know what? Nothing pisses me off faster than that. Nothing. You can ask. Are you talking to me? Oh, you're talking to her. I see. Guy. Oh, it's a MP. I'm sorry. Yes, it is, Invader, because apparently you don't know what I do. Thank you. I'm okay in this, MP. There you go. So I think that's the second time that I okayed that. All right, man. Are we wrapping this up? Does anybody have anything further that we need to go down tonight? Anything further? You know what? New theories. You see, new theories. It sounds good, doesn't it? Like, oh, the other ones don't work. It must be a new one. But it don't. It don't, because a theory is a theory. Now, it don't matter what a theory is. It has nothing to say what a theory is. You know what? I could come up with a great theory. I could make it all totally bullshit, but it's going to sound good. And people will be like, oh, that's a fantastic theory. I'm going to spread this shit all over Facebook. And they would too. You know why? But it's just a theory. It doesn't make any sense, but it sounds good. Yeah, it sounds good. That's what people are after here. They want a good sounding theory. Because if it sounds good, people are like, well, it must be true. Well, if it doesn't solve the crime, it's just shit. And needs spread on bread and pasted onto Facebook. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am out here for tonight. Please stand by in coming days. Oh, you know what? Not quite so fast. Hold tight. Damn, this one I wish I could edit. I am going out to Delphi Saturday. I am going to be out there at the bridge, at Monon High Bridge Trail. I'm going to be out there with Rebecca Baxter. If anybody local wants to go along, please reach me at mrcat420 at gmail.com. MRKATT420 at gmail.com. We'd be happy to have you. Let's see. I also want to make the evidence video. I also wanted to make the one Saturday, BG. Thank you. No problem at all. Glad I could be here. Yes, you know what? I will probably have pork chops on that day because I am a pork chop man fully. Thank you for being here, Mike, and I appreciate it. Anyway, those are some upcoming videos that I want to go over, and I thank everyone for being here. Good night, y'all. Peace.